This video covers setup and input options for daylight analysis in Sefaira. Daylight analysis is available in Sefaira's plugins. Other videos discuss how to prepare the 3D geometry for analysis and how to run a simulation and export results. Here I'll dive into the input parameters and touch briefly on some of the assumptions behind the analysis. There are several types of input parameters that can be changed in the plugin, and they show up in a few different locations. The first set are analysis parameters, and they show up in the settings menu. If you click on the gear icon in the upper right of the plugin, you'll see a few things. One, you have the ability to change the units of measurement from lux to foot candles. You can also change the number of bounces in the simulation, as well as the grid resolution. Daylight analysis actually bounces rays of light around a space in order to determine daylighting. Therefore, the more bounces you have, the more accurate the results are, but the longer the simulation takes. Therefore, we recommend keeping the number of bounces high unless you're doing very early, very broad brush comparisons, or if the simulation is timing out under other settings. Daylight analysis also requires an analysis grid or a mesh of sensor points that daylight is evaluated from. Similar to bounces, high resolution delivers more accurate results but can increase analysis time. In this case, the default low resolution is designed to give accurate results in most cases, but high is offered for scenarios where it's needed. This is especially true in cases where there are a lot of detailed geometry in the model. You can read more about grid resolution in the knowledge base. Simply hover over the tooltip and follow the link. You can actually see the analysis grid visualized if you open up the daylight visualization and select the grid option from the visualization type in the menu. You'll then be able to see the sensor grid that was used for the analysis. There's one analysis input that is available in the Properties tab. The Properties panel, in general, controls properties of the building envelope, and this includes properties of the glass. The relevant property here is Visible Light Transmittance. This controls how much light gets through any glazing in the model. Finally, there are a number of inputs in the daylight visualization window itself. This includes being able to control the work plane height, also known as the analysis grid. And in addition, there are metric-specific inputs. For instance, in the annual simulation, you can control the lux threshold that the simulation measures. These metric-specific inputs are discussed in another video where we discuss each one of the daylight visualization metrics. Finally, there are a number of inputs that are not adjustable in the Sefaira interface. These include reflectance values of materials and a number of radiance settings. You can find all of these assumptions and settings listed in a knowledge base article. You can search for material assumptions or radiance settings to find this article.